Om. 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 Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratang Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Srutismurti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Namah Shri Shankarananda Gurupadambujannmane Savila Samaha Moha Graha Grasaika Karmane. Hari Om. Yesterday we were studying about the Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana and Saguna Brahma Upasana. So Purvapakshi raised many doubts and Ujjarani Muni ultimately proved that Nirguna Brahma Upasana is possible and it has scriptural sanction. Vedas mention about it. Upanishads spoke about it. So he gave the proof of many Upanishads where we find Nirguna Brahma Upasana. As a final thing, Purvapakshi asked, this is not practiced by many. So Ujjarmani says, our discussion is not based upon how many are practicing and how many are not practicing. Whether there is a possibility of Nirguna Brahma Upasana or not. And there is a possibility. So therefore, it is not a big deal. Purushasya aparadhena kimapasti pradushyati. Why should you blame upasana just because others are not doing or many are not following it? So that is objection is irrelevant, overruled. Up to here we saw yesterday. Now today we shall start 66th verse. Itopyatishayam matva mantran vashyadikarinah Mudha japantu te bhyoti mudha krushimupasatam. Mudaha vasyadikarinah mantran atishayam matva. He says, Murkha people, people of dull intellect. People who are having very dull intellect, mudhaha, japantu. They repeat these formulas, mantras. Mantraha, mudaha, japantu. Some people. What do they do? Purpose is what? To acquire power over others. Mantran vashyadikarinah. So they repeat some group of people are there, murkhas, intellectually dull people. They repeat some formulas, some mantras. Their aim is what? To acquire power over others. And interestingly, those people, those who chant mantras to acquire power over others, they find it more immediately fruitful. The small things we do, some to conquer somebody, some kind of mantras are there. And they practice cheap techniques, and they quickly get results. Rather, they get more, the results are immediately fruitful for them, those who use mantras to acquire power over others, rather than those people who meditate on Nirguna Brahma, Saguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So meditation with Brahman with attributes. So some people chant mantras in order to control over others, and they get immediate fruits quicker than those people who meditate on Nirguna Brahma, those who do meditation or Upasana on Nirguna Brahma, attributeless Brahman. That is more little higher. And some other people, Tebhyo Athimudaha. And there are so many other Murkha people are there. Still more unintelligent, dull people. They Krushimupasatam. They always engage in various activities such as agriculture. Agriculture here means not agriculture here. All kinds of material gains, material prosperities, material things only they involve. They don't use their buddhi for higher upasana. So Vijayarmana says, suppose we say, hypothetical statement, Nirguna Brahma Upasana is invalid. Why? Because there are no more followers, or fewer followers only. Those who are practicing Nirguna Brahma Upasana, meditation on attributeless Brahman, there are very less people. Then Vijayarmana says, because this was said by Purapakshi, that less people only practice Nirguna Brahma Upasana. If you say, because less people are practicing, a practice becomes invalid, Vijayarmana says to Purapakshi, opponent. Because he brought that doubt, that less people only practice Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So Vijayarmana further is extending his arguments in this sloka. If you say that because less people are for practicing Nirguna Brahma Upasana, meditation on attributeless Brahman, therefore, according to you, it becomes invalid, not much appreciated, not much practiced, therefore not to be recognized. Then, same principle is extended to Saguna Brahma Upasana also. Why? Because those practitioners who are meditating or doing Upasana on Saguna Brahma, attributes with Brahman with attributes, their number also is very less. Do you think that practice also becomes invalid or redundant just because less number of people are practicing? Further, let us go down. Let us come down. There are many people who doesn't believe in all Veda itself. They don't believe in Shastra Vidhana. They don't believe in Shastra Vidhi. Like so many rituals are given by Shastra speaks about it. Like do Sandhya Vandana every day, Tarpana, Chitru Tarpana, Amavasya Tarpana. Shastra mentions about so many things. Many people don't do that also. Shraddha ceremony is there. That also given by Veda only, no? So many people don't do that also. It doesn't mean that they also become redundant. कहने का मतलब है, in any level, either Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasana, or those who believe in Veda, those who don't believe in Vedas also, Karmakanda portion also, less number of people are there, it doesn't mean it becomes invalid. And still more foolish people are there, those who believe only in materialistic activities, worldly activities. They are called Athimudaha. See, he says in the sloka, Tebhyo Athimudaha. Those who don't believe less in Vedic karma and murkha, then that is absolutely they don't talk about it. They are only occupied in worldly activities. Because in this world, now majority of people on planet Earth only are involved in materialistic activities only, merely materialistic activities. Even then going to temple also is not for God realization, not for dharma. Either people go to temples, etc., only either for any religious place, only to ask God, give me that, give me this. Or in some cases, out of sentiment and fear. In some cases, they seek support of the Lord to support them in their worldly activities. So, worldly laukika karmas. So, Nirguna Brahma Upasana has fewer followers. Down next is Saguna Brahma Upasana, also few people. Next one is very few people again, those who do Vaidika Karma Anusthana. Even compared to them, Laukika Karma is lowest. So, more number of people are involved in Laukika Karma, suppose. Less number of people are involved in higher things. Does it become that they become useless, redundant? Suppose very hardly, very few people in India are practicing yoga, such as yoga asana postures. It doesn't mean the yogic signs become redundant, no? Think about it. So that logic doesn't stand here. Whether it is less practitioners or more practitioners. A practice which has been given by Veda, by Upanishad, Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, is valid. It is there. Okay? So 67th verse. Tishtantu mudha prakrutaah nirgunopastiririyate vidyaikyaat sarvashakaat stan gunan atropasamharet. Tishtantu mudha. Let the ignorant people, engage themselves in their own way, the way they want. Tishtantu mudha. Prakruta nirguna upastiririyate. Now, what are we doing now? We are doing and we are talking about Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Now, Prakruta means now presently our topic of discussion is what? Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So, Vidya Aikyat, this Nirguna Brahma Upasana is being one. Nirguna Brahma Upasana is one. Vidya Aikyat. Sarvashakanstan Gunanatra Upasamharet. Let all the different explanations from different branches of Vedas, see, Sarvashakasthan. Veda is what? So many branches are there, shakhas are there. So Nirguna Brahma Upasana is spoken about in all the Vedic Vedas everywhere. Many places, Nirguna Brahma, including Upanishads also, Nirguna Brahma Upasana was spoken about. Now, what should be done? Sarvashakha Sthan. In all Vedic branches, in every branch, there is a mention about Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Gunan atra upasamharet. Guna means all the qualifications, we can say, different explanations given from different branches of Vedas. Let us be compiled together. Wherever Nirguna Brahma Upasana is spoken about, the entire Veda. Let all the stuff be compiled together. And this is what done by whom? Vedavyas did it in Brahma Sutra. That will come, no discussion. So, जहां पे निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासना, निर्गुण ब्रह्म के बारे में बताया गया, उपासना के बारे में बताया गया, ये सारे मंत्रों को, लक्षणों को एकत्रित करके एक साथ रख के देखना है. So, tishtantu moodaha. Germany says, let all the foolish people remain their own way. I am not interested now to discuss about them. There are so many people in the world, no? Each one of them is pursuing in their own way, in their own goals, their own objectives. So let them do whatever they do. Let us discuss our topic now. What is our topic? Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So what is the conclusion now? Saguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasanas are there, mentioned in Vedas, that nobody can challenge them. And as in previous sloka was said, no, Saguna Brahma Upasana, mantra yoga, mantra japa, etc. for reaching other ends or involving in worldly activities. These three set aside. Our focus should be only on Nirguna Brahma Upasana. No, in Brahma Sutra, this is actually, Mahatmas only have commented exhaustively on Pañcadaśi, various commentaries are there. Then they speak about the depth of each shloka. So, Vidyaranya Muni quotes Brahma Sutras now. We will see whatever we can study. See, Brahma Sutra purpose is what? What is the final tatparya of Veda? Veda has got many branches. And it deals with many subjects. Karma, Upasana, Jnana, Dharma. It gives us pure Jnana. It also spoke about Karma Kanda. But what is the ultimate tatparya, final conclusion, nishchaya of Veda? Is it jnana or karma? The final conclusion is jnanam. So ultimate tatparya of Veda is Shuddha Jnana Swarupam, Advaita. Now this is to be proved. So all the Upanishads are there, many portions of it. All those things are studied to be studied, and so many questions are asked. That is there is said like that, that is said in this portion like that. How can you justify that? Because Veda also spoke about that. Veda only spoke about it. How can you say this is correct and that is wrong? That doesn't suit here. This Shankaracharya, the work was very great work. So this is a Brahma Sutra, this is a portion where Vyasji did speak about the Gunopasamhara. Upasamhara means not withdrawal, Sanchayan, meaning collection. So first one Vijayana Muni wanted to tell us all that it has a Brahma Sutra support also. And Vijayana also wants to give the instructions as to how to proceed further doing Nirguna Brahma Upasana. This sloka is directly brought from that word, particular word, Atra Upasamharet. This is linked to Brahma Sutra. So in the third chapter of Brahma Sutra, third section, there is a big discussion took place. In this section, analysis was, please listen carefully. Many upasanas are mentioned, no? So all the upasanas mentioned in different Upanishads, and which of them are repeated. Some upasana told in one Upanishad, same upasana is mentioned again in some other Upanishad. So you find some upasana mentioned in 2 or 3 Upanishads. That's called repetition. I mean, they are not a new upasana, but they are repetition of the upasanas already occurring in other parts of the Upanishad, some other Upanishad, not other parts, different Upanishad. Or maybe another branch of Veda. So this is called Guna Upasamhara Upapada. Upasamhara means collection of gunas. There Vyasji analyzed several upasanas and he mentioned these upasanas are identical. So which are identical, which are not identical, which are repeated, which are not repeated. And similar upasanas are mentioned. What is the difference between those upasanas? There in Vyasa Bhagavan identified Panchagni Vidya, another upasana. Same, that upasana comes both in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also and Chandogya Upanishad also. These upasanas are actually identified as one only, mentioned in 2 Upanishads, Panchagni Vidya. Similarly, there is Hiranyagarbha Upasana. In Chandogya Upanishad also it comes. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also comes. In Taittiriya Upanishads also, Shikshavali, some upasanas come. So there are very many upasanas are given. Some are repeated, some are different. So we have to gather all these upasanas together. Atra upasamharet. Gather them. So gathering of different upasanas mentioned in different Upanishads together in one place, it is called upasamhara. Upasamhara means not conclusion or something. It is collection. Okay. So guna upasamhara. Guna upasamhara means collection of gunas or upasya devata it is. Particular devata is there. So whatever upasana has to be done in that. Various descriptions are given. How is upasya devata is. So in all four Upanishads, in all the four major Upanishads are all put together. Something we find Hiranyagarbha upasana on Hiranyagarbha. Samasti prana, you can say. So, Bhagavan, he says, Vyasa Bhagavan was quoted here that we must do this kind of a job, upasana, upasamhara. For all the descriptions mentioned about Nirguna Brahma Upasana in different Upanishads are to be collected. And they all come under category of Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So Vijayamuni says, it is all tremendous sanction, tremendous work was done by none other than Bhagavan Vyasji. So how can you deny the existence of Upasana itself, Nirguna Brahma Upasana? It is wrong. Now, here the comparison, the compilation begins. How did he compile? Brahman is described as what? That we will see now in the coming shlokas. It's a dry subject for only intellectuals, in the sense, a lot of interest who are having in jnana and understanding, they may find it more interesting. That is a one Mahatma commented this portion in Brahma Sutra also driest portion. But it gives us tremendous clarity. What is it now? Anandadervidheyasya gunasamhasya samritihi Anandadaya ityasmin sutre vyasena varnita. Now, vidheya gunas, all positive, affirmative attributes of Brahman, like Sat, Chit, Ananda. What is Sat? Affirmative attribute of Brahman. Positive. Vidheya. So, here it says, Veda Vyasji, Vijayamuni says, has compiled all the affirmative attributes of Brahman. Ananda, it is blissful. Sat, Chit, Ananda. In where? Anandadaya Pradhanasya. In Brahma Sutra, 3rd chapter में आता है, 3rd section. In the sutra, Bhagavan Vedavyasi mentioned all affirmative, positive qualities of Brahman. When how you see Brahman as positive. Negative, we'll see negative also. When a negative, through negative attribute, Brahman is indicated. Through positive attribute, Brahman is indicated. So one is positive description, second is negative description. Of what? A Brahman only. What a positive description? I already told you, Sat, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Anandam, etc. They are called Vidheya Gunas. See, the sloka says, Anandadehe Vidheyasya. Ananda, etc. Vidheya, affirmative qualities of Brahman, such as Ananda, etc. Gunasangasya Samriti. Compilation of attributes are done by whom? Vedavyas. And another negative description also is there. So one negative description is called Nisheda Guna. Positive is called Vidheya Guna. Like Adrishtam, cannot be seen. Avyavaharyam, Avyapadesham, all those qualities. They are called Nisheda Gunas, negative description of Brahman. Adreshyam, Agrahyam, Agotram, Avaranam, Achakshusrotram. See? In Mundaka Upanishad, this mantra comes. It is what? Asthulam, not physical. Avaranam, no color. Agotram, no gotra. Agrahyam, incapable to grasp, ingraspable. They are called negative. They are called what? Nishedha Gunas. So we can meditate on Brahman either through Vidheya Guna or Nishedha Guna. So in one sutra, Vyasa Bhagavan spoke about Vidheya Gunas. In another sutra, he spoke about Nishedha Gunas. Both are indicating Brahman alone, Nirguna Brahman alone. So by contemplating on those qualities of Nirguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma Upasana is practiced. Hope it is clear now. Astuladernishedyasya Gunasanghasya Samhritihi Tatha Vyasena Sutresmin Uktaksharadhiyantviti. And Bhagavan Vedavyasji has declared the group of negative Astuladehe Nishedhyasya Gunasangasya Samrti. Negative attributes of Brahman are compiled together by Vyasa Bhagavan. Astulam, not gross. Oh, it is Sukshmam, Asukshmam. Aksharam, negative quality. Naksharati. Never decays. Negative description of Brahman. Akshara means what? Brahman is other than the all perishable entities in the world. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Gargi asks Yajnavalkya Rishi. It's called Akshara Brahmana. Akshara Brahmana. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad divided into Brahmana. So one Brahmana, Akshara Brahmana is there. There, Yajnavalkya gives all the negative descriptions of Brahman. He gives 23 of them. All the 23, one line. Brahman in negative description. In one go, we find in Brahadaranyaka Upanishad. That's what mentioned by Veda Vyasji in Brahma Sutras. He quoted that Brahma, what do you call Brahadaranyaka Upanishad. So in Mandukya Upanishad, in Mandukya Upanishad also, so many negative qualities, the negative descriptions of Brahman is there. Negative description. See, Yajnavalkya said in Brahadaranyaka Upanishad. I'm just reading out the mantra in English translation. Astula, I said, no. So, Yajna said, oh, Gargi, Brahmanas call this as Akshara. Akshara Brahmana, it is subject. Akshara means imperishable. It is neither coarse nor fine, neither short nor long, neither red like fire nor fluid like water. It is without shadow, without darkness, without air, without ether, without attachment, without taste, without smell, without eyes, without ears, without speech, without mind, without light, vigor, without breath, without a mouth or door, without measure, and having there is no nothing like within, without. In Brahman, there is within, without is not there. It devours nothing and no one devours it. That is Brahman. So then we contemplate on this. Just think, start thinking about an entity which is all pervading of this nature. When you think about the Brahman in this way, it is called Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So Nishedhatmaka mein what Nishedhatmaka, what Brahman is not. What Brahman is Videya Guna. What Brahman is not is what? Nisheda Guna. So these qualities are used for Upasana. When Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya spoke in Prashnopanishad, he spoke about Nirguna Brahma Upasana as one Omkara Alambana. We saw yesterday, Omkara is Pratika, symbol for what? Both Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma Tattvasya Vidyayam Guna Samhritihi Nayujyete Tyupalambho Vyasam Pratyeva Mam Tunam. So, objection is raised. Now, Nirguna Brahma Tattvasya Vidyayam Guna Samhriti Nayujyete iti Palambo Vyasam Pratyeva Mahamtuna. Now, Purvapakshi asked. He imagines a question from Purvapakshi. Vidyaranya, he imagines a question. Suppose Purvapakshi asked. There is a fallacy, logical fallacy in what you have explained. Opponent says to Vidyaranya. There is a fallacy in that. What is the nature of Brahman? Nirguna. That you also accept, I also accept. When Brahman is Nirguna, How can you talk about the positive attributes and negative attributes? Negating attributes, affirmative attributes. What are you talking? Brahman is Nirguna, no? So Purvapakshi asked, when Brahmana is Nirguna, how can you talk about Videya Guna, Nitsheda Guna? Videya Guna means attributes, affirmative attributes. Nisheda Guna, negating attributes of Brahman, as we saw both examples. How can you talk about it? Is it an interesting fallacy? It is. And then you are talking about compilation of positive gunas, compilation of negating attributes of Brahman. And how can you talk about Nirguna Brahma Upasana? In Nirguna Brahma, you say एक और कहते हो निर्गुण ब्रह्म की उपासना मैं कर रहा हूं और सारे गुण को ला लिया उधर, गुणों को। तो गुणों का प्रस्ताव क्यों किया भाई निर्गुण उपासना के बारे में, जब हम निर्गुण उपासना हम करते हैं, जिस ब्रह्म में कोई गुण ही नहीं है, इनकी उपासना में आप क्या कह रहे हैं? विधेय गुण, निषेध गुण, सतचित्त आनंद एक्सेट्रा विधेय गुण हो गया। अस्तूलम, अनन्वणम, अनन्वु, अननु, नॉट अनु, ऑल दोस थिंग्स इट became negating attributes. अब कैसे संभव है सर? So it is a logical fallacy. It doesn't actually suit. So therefore, Vidyaranya Muni ji, Purvapakshi says to Vidyaranya Muni, what you are saying is not correct. It's not right. Hope you are understanding. See how much the Shastras, the Purvapakshi's Chircha, how much clarity we get. And majority of seekers on earth is Saguna Brahma Upasakas only. Compared to them, among for every 100 Saguna Brahma Upasakas, there may be 1 or 2, that too high number I am talking, Nirguna Brahma Upasakas, or even less than that. Very less, not even 1% maybe. Maybe 1 in 1,000, maybe 1 in 10,000, we don't know. Vijayamani says, why are you asking me this question to me? Why are you asking me? This doubt, Upalambo, Vyasam Pratyeva, Mam Tuna. You divert this question to Veda Vyasaji, not to me. Whatever you want to criticize, you should criticize Bhagavan Veda Vyasa, Vyasacharya. Don't blame me. I am only repeating what Vyasa Bhagavan has said. The moment it is said no, the Purvapakshi got frightened. How can he go against Vyasa? Who is he? Because Vyasacharya is such a... Can we talk about Vyasa against Vyasa? Can we find the Vyasa intelligence is Vishala Buddhi? Where are we? What do we know? About Vyasa? No, Vidyaranya Muni, when Purupakshi himself answers this, he understood, oh, Vyasa Bhagavan, I cannot. He forgot for a moment. He said, okay, Vyasa Bhagavan gave this. I cannot go against it. I must accept what Veda Vyasa just said. So he brings out his own logic to accept it. Purupakshi tells Vidyaranya Muni, like simple logic. Then he says, okay, because of this, I accept Veda Vyasa now. So he himself comes out with a solution. What solution for what? How can you talk about Nisheda Guna and Videha Guna? Videya Guna, sorry. Videya Guna. Affirmating qualities, Videya Gunas. Negating qualities, Nisheda Gunas of Brahman. When you say Brahman is Nirguna, attributeless, how can you speak about these two in Brahman? So he says, he answers. Purupakshi only answers. With Pañcadaśi is such a text, I tell you, that it is actually exposes us to all kinds of Upanishads and Shastras. And Vidyaranya Muni presents each topic brilliantly. Suppose if we are studying Pañcadaśi after Upanishad study, we get another, it becomes a Manana Granth. Knowledge becomes firm. Suppose I have not studied all Upanishads, but I am studying Pañcadaśi Prakarana Grantha, I will come to know what are all the contents of Upanishads and Brahma Sutras, what kind of subject was dealt in these things. We will know, at least through window. And that gives us tremendous clarity also. Think. So Vidyaranya Muni, the Purupakshi gives an answer. Okay, sir, now I will understand. Now I will reconcile myself. How? This way. Hiranyasmashru suryadi murtinam anudakrate aviruddham nirgunatvam vichite tushyatam tvaya. As what? He says, as in support of the views of Bhagavan Veda Vyasa, in what he says, Purupakshi says, in Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Veda Vyasji did not include Saguna Brahma in it. He spoke Nirguna means he kept it Nirguna Brahma Upasana only. In Saguna Brahma is what? Imagine Surya Narayana with a golden beard, Rasmayaha, Surya Rashmi, Upasana. Out. See the Surya Bhagavan as Bimba as a face, and all his Kiranas are beard, golden beard, meaning each Kirana is a beard, one hair like in a beard. So you can see, contemplate on that. This is Saguna. So he did not include, see, that he did not include Brahman with form. Who? Vyasa Bhagavan. Who says? Purupakshi says, in the Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Vyasa Bhagavan did not include that Brahman with form, such as Surya Narayana is a form, no? You can see. So I can do Upasana on Surya Narayana, imagining Surya Narayana as a being with We have sun disk as a face, and all the kiranas are like his hair, and contemplate on it. That becomes Saguna Brahma. So in Nirguna Brahma, these things, such upasanas are not included by Veda Vyasa. So Purvapakshi says, therefore, whatever Vyasa Bhagavan gave, the qualities in Nirguna Brahma Upasana is acceptable. So, Upasana of Nirguna Brahma as per Veda Vyasa is acceptable to me because Veda Vyasa did not include Saguna Brahma aspect, Saguna Brahma Upasana in that, such as meditate on sun disk as a face and rays as a beard. So Vijayam says, very good. We agree with that. Be satisfied with your answer. So says, Tushyatam Tvaya. Very good. Be happy with it. Now you understood. You have resolved your own question within yourself. So Purvapakshi solved his problem by his own thinking. So Purvapakshi says, there are two types of gunas. One is Prasiddha Guna, popular Guna. Prasiddha Guna means what? Very popular, conspicuous, known, visible. That becomes Prasiddha is Saguna Brahma. Prasiddha means very clearly evident. Saguna Brahman is evident, no? Like Surya Narayana, meditate on Surya Narayana disc. It is evident. They are all called, one Guna means Upasya, I said, no? Guna means Upasya. So Prasiddha Gunas makes Brahman Saguna Brahma. Otherwise, how can you talk about a beard, face, etc.? Such upasanas also are there in Upanishads, in Vedas. So all those upasanas, such gunas, upasyas, they cannot join Nirguna Brahma. And there another gunas are called popular gunas. Popular means what? They are essential nature of Brahman. They are not like Prasiddha. They are not like Saguna Brahma. Other qualities are what? Essential qualities of Brahman. They are called Swarupa Guna. What is the nature? True nature of Brahman. That's called Swarupa Guna. What is Swarupa Guna? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda is a Brahma Swarupam. Because Brahma Swarupam, because they are not like attributes of Saguna Brahma. Suppose you say a vastu is there, it has its properties are there. So there is a sambandha between the property and the vastu. There is substance and its guna. They are called acquired gunas. Acquired gunas. Like hot water. Hotness of water is acquired guna. It is not Swarupa Guna. Nature of water is what? Swarupa, cold. The acquired gunas, they don't last. Thus, there is a relationship between heat and water there. Because water, Swarupa Guna of water is different. Cold. But heat is comes and goes. So Sat and Chitta, Atma is existence, Atma is consciousness. Are they two? No, existence is consciousness, consciousness is existence. They are not two. They are called Swarupa Gunas. So what is the true nature of Atma? Consciousness. So consciousness is not a guna of Atma. कभी है कभी नहीं है कभी लुप्त हो जाता है ऐसा नहीं consciousness and atma are only one and the same. Atma guna is consciousness. No, Atma is consciousness. The nature of Atman is consciousness. So Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, we don't call them as gunas of Brahman. They are called Swarupa of Brahman, nature of Brahman. So there is a Prasiddha Guna, Saguna Brahma related, Swarupa Guna, Nirguna Brahma related. Like, heat of water is what? Prasiddha Guna, not Swarupa Guna. Heat of fire, Swarupa Guna. Fire Swabhava is heat. You can't separate that heat from the fire. Similarly, you cannot separate Sat, Chit, Ananda from Brahman. Both they like heat, fire is heat and the similarly. Brahma is Sat, Brahma is Chit, Sat is Chit, Chit is Sat. So Purupakshi says these Saguna Brahma Lakshanas are there, no Prasiddha Gunas like seeing Brahman as Upasana for in Suryanarayana, etc., etc. They are separated. They don't join Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Therefore, Vyasa Bhagavan did not include these Prasiddha Gunas, popular Gunas, Saguna Brahma related attributes in Nirguna Brahman. Therefore, it is acceptable to me. Now I have solved my problem within myself. So, Saguna Brahma qualities, attributes contradict with Nirguna Brahman. But Nirguna Brahma qualities are there, no? They don't contradict with Nirguna Brahman. Swarupa Gunas are there, no? Swarupa Gunas do not contradict with Nirguna Brahman. Because that is Swarupa. So, Swarupa Gunas are Vidheya Gunas, such as Sat, Chit, Ananda. And Videya Gunas are Astulam. This is negating attributes of Brahman, but they are also Videya Gunas only. So both Videya Guna and Nisheda Guna come under what? Swarupa Guna. Affirming attributes of Brahman, negating attributes of Brahman, both come under what? Swarupa Guna. So both these gunas can be combined in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So this is called meditation now. So I am now promoted. Promoted to what? Saguna Brahma Upasana, like puja. Arati, that's required for at some stage. That is good. Pratikopasana, Samvidopasana, all the upasanas are mentioned. Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, he doesn't want any Panchapatra, no photo required, no garland required, no flowers required. He is promoted. He is capable of contemplating, meditating on Nirguna Brahma. He is able to do Upasana of Nirguna Brahma. So for them, they don't need anything around them. Wherever they are, they can think about those Brahman qualities, Upanishadic qualities. So Vidyaranya appreciated Purupakshi. Very good. You could solve your own problem. So Vidyaranya satisfied. and says, be happy with your answer. You are correct. You got your answer now. Relax. Thus, we have seen some portion today. We will begin from 72nd verse tomorrow. I hope you are able to grasp the deeper thoughts of Pañcadaśi. It's a very serious topic, but more clarity you will get. Prakriti upasakas are there. They see different forms of Prakriti, they do upasana. But if they see Prakriti in the Prakriti as a manifestation of Brahman alone, that's Sugana upasana only. But Nirguna upasaka, he will go beyond. He doesn't depend on any form, direction, dik, desha, kala. He doesn't depend. He sits in a chair or sits on wherever he wants. His just mind is always contemplating on Nirguna Brahma. Astolam, Agrahyam, Achintyam, Avyapadeshyam. All those things. So more about it, tomorrow we'll see. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.